turn on the end of my session. Again, thank you all you having here on India Cloud Security Summit 2022. Such a nice and great event, especially these days we are talking about some serious cybersecurity challenges and issues all around the globe. So I'll try in the first couple of slides just to repeat the stuff already have here before me. It's a one virtual event, and please actively participate about this, because there's such a great prizes after this presentation. And also they support the cause. You know that if you help someone, that will in some point of your life and time, for sure it will come back to you. And again, now session 10, as my colleagues introduced me before, it's about security challenges and software development company. Okay, now just before I beginning, let me just say a couple of words about me. 20 years plus of experience in IT, and last 15 of them are in cybersecurity, and also one part of my life is tightly connected for academia and teaching in universities, and also the last 3 years of my life I'm holding CISO position, role position in one big European company for software development. So I will just try to share my experiences about the challenges, about the risk, and how we see things, and how we saw some really big problems inside our business process in last 3 years, especially during pandemic and this post-pandemic period. If you want to follow me, the most useful content will be on my GitHub, YouTube channel, and something on LinkedIn, and other stuff are tightly connected to my native speaking language. Okay, so the agenda goes as follows. In first, let's say 5 minutes, I will try to explain why this is important. I believe that many of you who actually now listen to this presentation and presentation before and after this are security aware. But the security awareness is a security is a process. We can't say we are aware. Yes, maybe we are aware in that point in time, but if we leave the stuff, if we don't improve ourselves, if we don't follow and track the threats that actually are around us, in some point in time we'll be left behind, and in that point in time the risk extremely goes up. Then we will see the challenges, the classic one, and the challenges that actually tightly connected for the process of the creating software inside the company of my magnitude, and my company now currently is more than 1,000 employees. Okay, then I will try to follow about strategy and policies, what kind of strategy we are using, and what kind of policies we actually created and apply vertically and horizontally across the company and across the business processes. Then recommendation, and on the final part, I'll try to connect somehow ISO 27001 for financial security, just to give you the bigger picture and the concept why I think and why we think here in my company the ISO is important for some strategic overview of security. And last one is Q&A if you have any questions during and after presentation. Now I will just turn off my camera just to give you focus on the presentation. Okay, why? Okay, let's start funny. So there are, and I see cyber risk everywhere. I believe each one of you on this session will agree with me. So there is no any IT process on the low level or on the higher level that doesn't carry some amount of cyber risk. Maybe it's low, maybe it's medium, or somewhere in the middle, or it's high. So it's up to us, it's up to you to actually calculate that kind of risk. But it's not about risk. So, but I believe we are aware that there is a risk everywhere. The next slide, I believe, it will just be a point of this first intro. This is a screenshot from the web page. Informations are beautiful, and just simply type the world biggest data breaches and hacks. So, and this is a update in my May 2022. I believe the next screenshot will include many other bubbles, but these bubbles are actually the name of the companies that actually have reported the breach. Report the data breach or incident that is become the breach. And if you just look closely in the names of the companies, you will see the Facebook, the Microsoft, the Sinners, Oxidate, American International Hotel, Indian Citizens, Edhar, Spamboot, Twitter, and down below, if you go actually directly to the site, you will see the Yahoo 2 times by 1 billion of the records, etc., etc. So these numbers are the number of the records in the millions that actually has breached and leaked out in some kind of information security incidents that actually become the data breaches. And if I say to you that the latest analysis about the cost of the let's say average, but average is also relative word, but about average price of the data breach the last year, so 2021, it was about something 4.1 or 4.2 million US dollars. This year is about $6.4 million. So the average breach. So let's say there's a breach that actually cost 1 million. There's a breach that cost 100 million, but average scale is somewhere about $6 million. So that's the starting point when we are speaking about security, cybersecurity, about investment with a senior level position, CISO, CEO, name it. So there's a whole lot of roles about who actually started the C when they need to understand. So you should, and we should skip about technical work, and we should speak about the language of the money, about the language of the business. And when we say, if we actually suffer the breach, it will cost us at least $6 million. So I was not speaking about the loss of credibility, shameless, and so on. So that price simply can be measured. So actually the breach can put you out of the business. So just be prepared about to when you elaborate the risk, that you actually choose the right wording, and the words should not be just only technical. Technical, yes, but the point should be about this. And this slide can be just great starting point. Okay. And the last one, last slide in this why section is the latest Uber breach. So when you say the Murphy law, what can go wrong? Everything can go wrong. So the Uber breach, it was, I believe, something about month ago. It's just on the epic scale of 1 to 10 is 11. So it is about that. Why? Because the Uber had the million US dollar for the security budget to spend in each segment of the company, but yet they had breach. They have suffered a breach. How? So just quick information about that. So the third party, and they say it is a one guy. So, but I have doubt that, because attack of this scale should be carefully prepared. So maybe it's an individual on the front, but I believe there's a much larger scale in behind. So in a nutshell, the breach has happened, that the hacker, let's say hacker, is is actually get in possession of the username, credentials, and the password of the individual inside the Uber IT team, and actually and they follow the good security practice. They have implemented multi-factor authentication, so 2FA. So in each login process, there is a additional request. Are you really you? Maybe it's SMS. Maybe it's an app. So it doesn't matter, but it will require from the user side to actually additionally prove his or her identity. So and of course the attacker that was not the employee. So the attacker is actually just the float of the pool of the request. So request, and in some point in time, the other side is actually just approved. And there's also communication by the phone between the attacker and the employee as additional, let's say, under the cost insurance mechanism. So the first thing when the attacker was inside, the attacker didn't go extremely hard. It was going easily, smoothly to actually conquest each part of the system. So after some time, their employees are even speak that individual on their team channels, believing that they are speaking about right IT personnel. And there is a conclusion about that something is really going wrong, and there's a source code, and there's a data, user records, and everything goes right. As additional information to you, maybe I'm not sure you know it, that McAfee has analyzed this breach, and their conclusion, not mine, I just the quote them. Their conclusion is that each customer or user of the Uber application should delete their account, then recreate new one. So they think that the breach is that serious, that usernames, passwords, and additional user data, business data, is really jeopardized in the process. And this is only I believe 1 or 2 days, 2 days after the breach. On the LinkedIn, there's a whole set of the security position. Now we need them. Uh, yes, better ever than never. But in this case, maybe is a little bit late because damage has been done. Okay, so let's start about challenges. So what kind of the challenges software development company can see or encounter on the daily basis? And believe me, they are on the daily basis. So let's start with the classic one, specific one, and then the most specific one that actually was my issues in last 2 years, as I say on the beginning, especially on the beginning, during, and after. I'm brave enough to say pandemic is over. So after COVID-19 outbreak, and totally that actually totally changed our way of working, way of life, and approach for the security. So the classic one, I believe each one of you on this call, there is no need to speak any additional word about information security, network security, physical, and the awareness. They are all the challenges that we address them on the daily basis. Okay, this is a classic part of security. Specific part of security, start with the clients. It depends on the type of the business model of your company. Are you creating your own product? Are you creating product for your clients? Are your company actually hire employees, hire dev teams? So based on that, you can have a monolithic or totally distributed different kind of the specific security request. Some of them can be, client will say to you, your developers should follow our security practice. Okay, that's okay. But what in the point of their daily work, when they need to switch from your environment to our environment? Are they using your laptops? Are they using our laptops? Are they using your teams, our teams? So each that break of the daily routine to switch from one point to from point A to point B can be cybersecurity risk. So it's heavily dependent on the client's request. Secure coding. I believe that we all agree here that there's a lot of code, and that the coding is under the pressure of the timeline, of the money, of the sprint. You know, sprint sometimes can be 7 days, 14 days, 20 days, but again, it depends on the client. If the client say the delivery performance and the security maybe was a 10 place, then we have the issue here. Uh, after the delivery, only after the delivery, they maybe initiate some penetration testing, and that's the third part. So the pen test is a necessary. So if you don't do so, if on this call any of you is actually is working on the company of this kind of work, or you have the position to make decision about how they will do their daily jobs. If you don't use pen test inside your business process on your own product on the client product, depends on the clients, then you have the great cybersecurity risk. I would just say this. Uh, uh, in my company, there's a policy and procedure. So policy and operational procedure that actually define that in the life cycle of development, each large milestone should have at least before the client delivery one penetration test that will take somewhere between 3 and 5 days. Only after that, if we say this code doesn't have anything critical and high cybersecurity issues, then you are good to go. The medium and the low and the informational one are okay to push in the operational, but they are on the tickets to actually to be reviewed from the team. But on the critical and high security items, there is no anything optional. They should be fixed as soon as possible and reported. So the last one is education. So education, pen testing, and security coding is actually everything is connected. So if you are thinking about math and the sets, so it's an intersection of the sets. So you can't just pull out one set and its element and say that's it. No, we should combine all of them. So education and the awareness on the left side. So awareness, education, constant education through the courses, courseware, libraries, third-party lectures, name it. They should be your yearly cybersecurity planning. Just to provide enough additional information and the secure coding best practices, the latest vulnerabilities, and so on, that your developers can encounter during their daily jobs. Okay, now the stuff that let's say that actually I have really bad feelings about this, because when we now try to so everything is large scale. Now we have to narrow to the point, to specific the stuff that actually can as in chess, checkmate. So the fail in only one segment of this six elements around the Jonas can actually bring you down and totally. So I will now, because my time, I am already spent 20 minutes. I would just connect the first one, because they are not the same but they are connected. So I will immediately jump in the software supply and chain security, and I will later show you some of the largest cybersecurity breaches that actually was happened because let's say breaches, vulnerabilities inside the supply chain. So, what is software supply chain security? So let's say like this: your company is delivering some kind of code or the products for the customer. So you are point A, actually they create the code, and point B will sell that code to the point C. So you create. So let's try. Let's speak about some. In theory, there is a one company called by my name Yasmin Software, and I will hire you to actually create the code for me, and I will later sell that product as a service, as an on-prem, as a hybrid, doesn't matter, to the third party. So I'm middleman. Uh, uh, Supply chain security means that if somewhere in the process of the creating the code, so the writing, QA, pen testing, delivery, DevOps, infrastructure. So there is a many points where things can go wrong. If, for example, you use the third-party library, open source library, that actually is doesn't check enough. Maybe that library was really cool before 5 years ago, and you are just you used to use it. So you're common to use it in some Python library or doesn't matter without some additional knowledge. Is that library up to date? Is author of the library still alive? Is actually does he, she, or them create the new version? Or you're just using by automatic mine procedure all the libraries from that storage. And if they are not, and if that library is old and vulnerable, and someone actually find that vulnerability in library A, and you import that library and include in the software that actually you're creating, that vulnerable library will simply in the chain, in the supply chain of the code, will go further in the process without nobody notice that something has wrong, because it's not malicious, is not the malware, is not the ransomware. So antivirus endpoint security without some really deep dive security will actually not see anything wrong with that library. And that's only one example of the software supply chain. So in the as a end result, uh, uh, I, as a Yasmin software company, will actually use your compile libraries, compile code with vulnerable library, and actually deliver that product to my clients. Now, in that point, how many clients I have? 1 million. I will have 1 million jeopardized client from the attackers who actually knows that Python library has an ability to actually remotely execute the code and get the admin permission on the machines. So I will again later show you the two examples on the large scale or the famous epic scale supply chain security attacks. Remote work and hybrid is nothing new, but it's a new insecurity. So before 2000, end of 2019, before COVID, the employees was mostly in the perimeter. So they were protected and they guarded by the firewalls, endpoint security, proxies, cloud services, and so on. So we were cool, we were fine. Yes, there is no final security. Security is a process. It's a road. We will never achieve 100% security. We are trying, but we'll never achieve. But that was if was actually created by the book, by the rule, pretty nice security. But in December 2019 and 2020, on the beginning, when the entire population was go offline and actually start they doing their job from their homes, and remote work was actually needed. So is that is it is not give us to us as a service because they like it, because it was necessary. So in this point, from 2,000 employees 200 employees from the secure, you created 2,000 unsecure endpoints from the homes, bus stations, airports, public Wi-Fi's, hospitals. So you simply we have lost control about the endpoints. So that was really serious issue. So without uh, fast, without correct procedures and technical preparedness, this remote work and the hybrid in this final stage is and was, and it will be really serious cyber risk. Staffing issues. Uh, Staffing issues. It's kind of between cybersecurity, information security, and the HR, but you simply need to do background check of your employees. Sometimes it's against the depends on the country, depends on the region. In EU, this GDPR that actually give us the framework that we can use. Also, United States they are more liberal, but I'm not saying that we need to hire the police forces, but some additional search on the LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, simply typing their name online can give you enough information, additional information that can be seen in their curriculum vitae or their CV. So because our experiences show that sometimes I will not say bad employees, simply the bad person. The bad person can become part of your team, and that will generate, believe me, additional challenges inside your team and inside your company, and can cost you a lot. The raw content is something was something new for us. I know it is not something new on the scale of time. It was happening before and it will happening after. But because the people now often change the jobs, and because now there's a really really enforcing policies and procedures for the endpoint security. So I will send you my laptop with, for example, Azure AD user account with the Intune control and security with BitLocker encryption and pin on the pre-boot sequence with 2FA enabled. So I will enforce the policies on this PC and laptop, and I will give you to work. Now the raw content means that in some point in time, maybe some of your employees that actually came from the company A before to your company B now will carry maybe some of the products they created illegal created on their job before, and they will carry that source code or documentation or blueprints illegally because it's a violation of the contract and NDA to your company laptops, just to have it, or maybe to use it or reuse it in now in your product. So it's a really big issue. So now imagine this, that company A have some kind of mechanism to actually detect that. So it is possible. So now your company laptop uh, is part of the police investigation and maybe court order to confiscation to actually go for the digital forensic analysis and so on. Maybe on that laptop, there is a current projects for your current clients that actually tied you with NDA, that code that doesn't have to see nobody except your employee. And now if your laptops go to your police investigation, then you have the problem because that source code and the project can be visible. So the raw content is becoming the really huge problem now, and you should pay attention on this, and you should enforce the mechanisms. I will just give you a couple of proposals. For example, asset endpoint security. It's really good anti-malware product. Actually, is sandboxing each exe file that is has executed on the client machine. So after that, you can actually review these logs, and maybe you can see some strange name of the libraries or project that actually is not on your portfolio, and that can give you a hint. That can give you a hint that maybe something has go wrong on your laptop. So it's a company laptop, so there is no privacy. So also it's about mindset. So it's a company laptop. I can I can follow you. I can watch you. I can see. I can jump in any point in time. If you need the privacy, if you have anything private that's actually tied with you, please do it on your separate laptop. So it is up to you. Maybe you have the raw content from 10 companies before, but now it's in your private laptop, so it's not connected with you. So try to pay attention, especially on the raw part. And the last one, bring your own device policy. Uh, 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 you know, as I say, so the employees sometimes want to use their own laptops. So it's now a mix of the potential raw content and avoiding to use the company laptops. So it's okay, but if you create a strong enough bring your own device the policy and the operational procedure, you can simply say, okay, these are the rules A, B, C, D, F, G that you need to install and follow, and then you can use your laptop. If you fail to initiate them, then you have to use the company, and that's it. So there's no room to actually to debate this because we are speaking about security. Okay, now the last one in beyond device is a phone, smartphone, using the Teams and emails on the personal phone. This can be simply prevent by creating separate profiles on the phone where you have the control. It's a separate room on the phone. But again, sometimes employees will not cooperate with this. So the phone is the last line uh, of the defense of the employees, and you as a security to conquer or properly to actually defend your procedures. Okay, now as I promised to you, these are the examples of the supply chain attacks. So the SolarWinds breach is actually started in 2019, and it was detected in the November 2020. So the whole year, the FireEye products that is actually used in, as you see, in the Homeland Security, NSA, NORAD, Department of the Defense, Department of Finance, was actually give the access through the back door to the third party, and it was actually proved that Russia as a state stayed behind, and the USA is simply characterized this event as a digital Pearl Harbor, and it's act of war. And Log4j, I believe all of you on this call have heard about this. Is Apache Java library that is actually used by millions of applications worldwide. You see Steam, Minecraft, Blender, LinkedIn, VMware, from the big names, and millions of less known them was using this library for logging, and this library was Jeopardy. So it's open source library. So in some point of time, this library was not properly maintained, so it becomes vulnerable. But nobody cares about that because it's just you use it because it's free, it's okay, it's cool, it's a functional, but security is always by side. So detection of this part should be in the DevSec process. So DevOps, but you should always put back security, dev security operations, and the security part should be on the left part and on the right part. So on the pre-delivery and the delivery process to ensure correct mechanisms to actually detect this kind of vulnerabilities. And the last one, the 15 years old unpatched Python vulnerability that actually I used as an example all this time was a example of the supply chain attack. Okay, strategies and policies. So what we actually is doing here, that we are starting we have started vertically. So I know that a lot of company they create security. I will not say departments, security operational nodes in the IT, in the compliance. I don't know, maybe somewhere in the business, somewhere in the operations. So they are doing security horizontally, but without the vertical control. You will simply and without correct reporting from these departments, you will lose track of your security. So if the IT do something and the compliance without coordination, maybe in some point in time, they will expose something from their own business process as a risk. So information security should be at the top level. So CSO, CISO, health security, name it. So it's just a name, but someone should be accountable for the security of the entire organization. So it's a vertical line. Now, depend on the size, of your company. Maybe you will need to create the middle layer. So head of the security in this and that part. Maybe if you are speaking about tens of thousands of employees, then you should. But if we are speaking about some medium-sized business for up to 500 employee, then one vertical line and the operational nodes should be enough. So you should take control about vertical and horizontal control, not only vertical and not only horizontal. You should involve each one of these, and please someone should be accountable for the security, not CIO. Because CIO, CFO, simply or CTO, it's a conflict of interest. So they can't create security and be control for themselves. So the security is the control mechanism of the entire organization. Focus areas. When you have the control, then you need to analyze your business process. So what we are doing here, are we a freelance company? Are we an outsourced company? Are we building our products? Who are our employees? Who are the customers? Are we using the on-prem work? Are we using hybrid, remote? So based all on this process, you should create your risk analysis and say, okay, these are the risk areas that we should mitigate, or these are the risk areas that are we okay with that. So again, without accountability, who will say inside the company we are risk aware? This is okay. CTO, with due respect for CTO, but is a technical position. So maybe that decision will compromise everything else. So security doesn't say to CTO, you will use this technology. You will say just this. Please use this and properly secure technology with these steps, and I will stop there. It's okay. But other C-level roles simply can't handle security on the proper way. So later then, certification, threat modeling, what's needed to be secured, all of this simply are the part of the risk analysis, business impact analysis process to actually create a framework that can be used later on the operation level to enforce the security policies that actually are created on the next slide. So after all of this, then you should create the policies, procedures, and the execution plan. So these are the only examples. So you can have only one policy, So if you say again, if your risk analysis say to you, you only need one policies and everything is goes fail, we are fine with that. You are fine with that. So we are going going on. But if risk analysis shows you that you have 25 processes that are critical, and if you fail on any of them, your business will be checkmate. Then you should cover them with the corresponding policy. So password policy, disk encryption policy, anti-malware, multi-factor authentication, remote bring your own device, remote I don't know, VPN policy, name it. So there is a many of them. Why you need policy? Because if something goes wrong and someone is doesn't follow the procedure, then there is no way to actually prove anything. So if if the disk encryption is up to employee, so you say you can install BitLocker or something similar, so it's optional. So the employee will carry the laptop with the source code that actually average price is 1 million US dollar, because you're creating source code for large company or in USA, or maybe small company, but the value is high. So when I say large, I mean on the business scale, and that laptop was stolen or lost, or in any other way was targeted from third party, then that source code become the publicly exposed to to copy it, to sell, to actually do whatever they want to actually define the weakness and later attack that company. Why? Because you have give the option that someone install or activate disk encryption. So you will see this encryption policy is mandatory and will be initiated by the IT department. You can't use your laptop without that. Then it will create the framework. So if someone try to obey or bypass the policy, then it's a signal that maybe something is wrong. So it's applicable or any of the security policies listed here, and I believe you can see maybe many of them that you can type with your field of work, but I didn't simply not put them here because there's no place to and there's no purpose to list them all. We just simply will recognize in the risk analysis what you need for you. So, but the issues with the policies is this, that policy is sometimes it's hard to read, it's boring, it's a document from 10, 15 pages, 50 pages. So the critical policies, as my proposal to you, should be created as infographics, something like this. So this is an example of the best policy. So this can be distributed to the email, to the teams, as a session, weekly session, or inside a company, where employees simply in 5 to 10 steps can see what's the point and what they need to do to actually be compliant with the policy. So this infographics is a summary of the 25 large 25 pages large document. So it's much easier to. So now is something for them is blurry in no team sharing part, then I will open the policy on the page, let's say 15, to see what no team sharing means to you. So you need to simplify. Again, as a software development company, you should involve red team and blue teaming. Uh, Maybe it's only one employee, and that's fine. So nobody says that red team should be 15 employees. Maybe your company will need 50 of them, but there is no the formal rule that will say one or 100. So it's up to you. So red team can be only one person, and also blue team can be one person. So the red team member should try to penetrate the policies. So he or she or they will analyze the policies, try to find the weakness, and try to initiate the offensive security attack, phishing attacks, ransomware attacks, but ethical on the ethical way from the inside the company. So it's a better that a red team find the weakness inside your policies, infrastructures, IT policies, financial parts, name it, then that someone outside the company find that weakness. So it's ethical way. So if you don't have enough let's say knowledge and power, you can always hire a red team as a third party contract with the NDA, of course, and on the ethical way initiate the same stuff. The blue team is just opposite. So it's a defense security. So based on the risk analysis, they are creating the policies and enforce them and control them in the company. And based on the red team inputs, they will correct them. So there's red versus blue, but is actually they are connected. In a really large company, you will need the purple team because the purple team will handle reporting and the presentation of the security facts to the upper and the lower level of the hierarchy inside your company. Also, one of the parts that each company, especially the company that actually creates software, why is the focus on the software? Because the software is a foundation of the digitalization. So digital transformation of entire our lives. So now you can't find any business process, any part of our lives, anything that doesn't have digital version inside the app, service, I don't know. So everything digital is a software or combination of the software and the hardware as IoT devices. So if something goes wrong there, it will simply, as a chain, multiply vulnerabilities inside that sphere. So security exercise and testing are the part of the awareness initiative inside your company. So it's a verification of the policy. So you will say our policies are the best on the planet. Okay, please show me the proof. So without any testing, you will simply just say it's a subjective opinion. But if you initiate simulation through your inside red team or the third party contractor as a phishing attacks on your own infrastructure, control attacks with malicious software, social engineering, phishing, ransomware, and so on, then you will see that maybe awareness of your company is not how you think it is. So again, my experience says that there's always room for the improvement, and there's a large room, there's a small room, but there is always room to be better. So in the final part of the presentation, let me say something about recommendation. What what is my advice to you from my experience? How you can try, only try, but again, it's operational segment. It's on your side. But as a steps, I will start like this. So if you don't have, and if you are planning, if you don't have security as an independent part of your company, at least try to form a security SOC center. So SOC foundation, maybe it's only one member for start, but it's a start. So there should be accountable person. Pen test your project regularly, at least 2 times in the life cycle. Believe me, you will find a lot of critical and high critical items. Believe me. So you think you're a programmer? Yes, they are good, they are best. There's a lot of seniors, mediors inside your company, but on the stress, on the timeline, on the pressure, maybe they will sometimes they will do something. Not intentionally, of course, we are speaking about non-intentional errors, security risk. They will, I don't know, maybe push security tokens, private keys, password credentials inside with the code, maybe input validation is not so
Uh,
well.
just
So
a reminder, last 10 minutes remaining.
okay, thank you very much. So maybe in that process, something is goes with your software, and only pen test can show you that. Take control of your logs. The foundation of the blue team is log. So there's a great feature in Azure. It's called Sentinel. So Sentinel, by default, can collect everything from the entire Azure infrastructure and beyond with the corresponding collectors. You can import the logs and then analyze them in the Sentinel. Again, monitor your threats. Azure inside there's software security, and inside the software security services have a lot of services to actually monitor your threats. Defender, security, Intune, Sentinel. So if you connect them all, with the logs, you can actually monitor your threats. If you don't have, please at least formally describe incident response process. So if something goes wrong, what is happening? So if your laptop is stalled, so what is the process? Who is alert? How to protect your business? Who will inform the client? Who will assess the damage? So without security, again, as a foundational part, your incident response process simply will fail. Please classify your information. How do you know what kind of document can go outside or simply it will be restricted inside your own company? So public, internal, classified, basic. So public can go outside, maybe it's a marketing part. Internal only for all internal employees, and classified is just for the some of the departments, and the confidential, strictly confidential, can be something on the C level or the financial reports. But again, without classification, you can't prove anything. And of course, regular reporting as a main part. So I will give you this presentation to the organizer to some and publish if you need this slide. But quickly, these are the top 10 plus one best security practices that we are following inside my company, and so far it's going well, because with these guidelines, we simply identify the places to improve ourselves, especially in securing your APIs, and be careful with your party libraries and the extensions. So this is the more critical part for us. And the last 5 minutes, 6 minutes for me, just quick about ISO. So in some point in time, the client maybe will say to you, are you ISO compliant? 27001 for information security management. So if you are not, I will find someone else to actually deliver something for me. So the ISO is a in nutshell, it's a simple. So it's the implementation of classic CI triage, confidentiality, integrity, availability. But uh, to the more than 100 control points inside your process. So this is not about ISO, just a hint how to start with ISO. So how to start with the ISO? First, try to evaluate yourself. Uh, Try to initiate an internal audit, or the better external audit, with some ISO guru who will actually try to see your business processes, to see how they are compliant with ISO. And maybe on the end, they will say to you, you are 100% complete. So you are done. You're good to go. You just simply need to apply for certification. Maybe they will say to you, sorry, you are only 30% compliant, and there's 70% you actually fail. So it's an alarm to you. So after recommendation, define all the spaces, please fix them all, then start the implementation process and the certification as a last step. Timeline, in our experience, can be between 6 and 12 months to do it properly. What you will get? Simply, you will
Last
get
5 minutes remaining. Yeah,
okay,
just a
thank you.
reminder.
You will get systematic approach to security. So the ISO will simply connect all the above that I actually speak last 55 minutes. So the strategy, the policies, the procedures, awareness, pen testing, blue teaming, red teaming, name it. Then the ISO will simply be as a boundary, the bubble that actually be around your entire organization. So the ISO will not make you safer and secure, but ISO will give you the control mechanisms where you can control are you safe and secure. So the ISO is a live system that should be recertified and controlled each year to actually keep your certification for some longer period of time. And that's it. So this is my final slide. Before the question, I just want to say thank you for the sponsor, because without the sponsors and their participation, this kind of conferences, the hybrid online on-prem, will simply not be possible. And from my side, yeah, I thank them all. Now I will stop my sharing, and I will now open the chat box on the screen to actually see is there any question for me. I will now start my camera just for the saying goodbye to you. But once again, any questions? So if not, thank you very much, and I hope so. We will see you in some other occasion. Thank you.